Hi, this is Darren Marlia. You may know me as the GPO guy, and I'm here today for SDM software to give you a sneak peek of the newest SDM software product called Change Manager for Group Policy. Change Manager provides approval-based workflow for all of your group policy changes. You can delegate access to individuals or groups to allow them to edit GPOs or link those GPOs to Active Directory containers. You can then have other administrators approve and deploy those either immediately or on a scheduled basis. Let's take a quick look at how the product works. So here on the CMGP dashboard, I'm logged in as a product administrator. There are a number of roles within the product that you can assign, including product administrator, GPO creator, that's a user who can create new GPOs, auditors who can just view data, as well as a special break glass role that allows you to, under emergency situations, both edit GPOs or links and also approve them. What I'm going to do here is look at the objects that I've got under control at the moment. And as you can see, I have two different types of objects. I have group policy objects and I have Active Directory containers. Containers being OUs, Active Directory sites, or domain objects. And for each of these objects under control, I have groups that are either approver or editor. I could also have multiple groups and or individual users in the editor and approval roles. Now, if I were to log in as an editor, and let's just take the Tier 0 admins as one of my groups that I'm going to log in as. So I'll log in as this user T-born admin, who happens to be an editor over the Tier 0 group policy objects and containers. And if I look at his My Objects view, you can see that he has the ability to control or edit two GPOs, and these are, of course, GPOs linked to what we call Tier 0 resources, and this is using the Microsoft parlance around admin tiering within Active Directory. So I have these two GPOs that I can edit, and under the containers section, I have two containers that I can edit. One of them is an Active Directory site, and the other is the domain object. So let's go back to GPOs and see what I can do here. I can go ahead and check out a GPO for editing, and as the editor, I'm going to go ahead and check out this default domain policy. You can see some information about the GPO here, including where it's currently linked. I'm going to go ahead and perform the checkout operation, and it shows me that there might have been some changes done outside of the product, so we can detect those changes and decide what to do about it. And I'm going to go ahead and check out anyway, ignoring the difference. And I'm going to go ahead and check out this GPO. Now once it's checked out, as an editor, you can see here my username has appeared under the editor column. I can either edit the GPO and the settings within the GPO. I can edit the delegation on the GPO, in other words, security group filtering that might be in place on the GPO, or I can rename the GPO. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and edit the GPO, and the editing process launches a group policy editor in which I'm going to authenticate so I can ensure that this editor is securely launched. And once the launch process happens, you'll notice the familiar GP editor screen here, and I can go ahead and make any changes that I want to this GPO. In this case, I'm going to make some security settings changes to the security options area, and I'm going to go ahead and disable guest account status for this domain using this default domain policy. Now once I've made the change, I can check in the change, and I can put a comment to the approver. So I can say disabled guest account as per change ticket. Sorry, once the check-in occurs. What I'm then going to do is log in as the approver for Tier 0, which is another user called dcoon admin. And if you go into their My Objects screen, you'll see that the default domain policy is checked in and waiting for approval. And I have the option to either approve, reject, or view the differences within this GPO. I'm going to go ahead and view the differences, and I can see the changes that T-born admin made versus what's in production right now. And it's going to go ahead and launch a different screen, and it's going to show me what exactly was changed within this GPO. And as you can see, the account guest status setting was set to disabled. So that's okay by me. I'm going to go ahead and approve that change. And then I'm going to go ahead and deploy it. And when I deploy it, I have the ability to either deploy immediately or schedule to deploy. I'm going to go ahead and deploy immediately. And when the deployment happens, my change has been put into production. And that's as simple as that for Change Manager being able to provide approval-based workflow of your group policy changes. I can do a similar thing with containers, and I'll show you that in another video, but the idea there is similar. I can link new GPOs or reorder links on GPOs, send those for approval, have the approver approve, and then deploy them in production either immediately or on a scheduled basis. So Change Manager for Group Policy provides a full life cycle of group policy delegation and approval-based workflow that allows you to take control and secure your group policy environment to ensure that either accidental or malicious changes don't get put into place, and if they do, to give you the ability to roll back those changes within the environment if needed. Thank you for listening, and for more information visit sdmsoftware.com and you can download a free trial of Change Manager for Group Policy.